Arena, the home to some of the biggest fights in recent history, and we're going to see another one right here, right now. Next to me, of course, is Johnny Nelson.
Hi, Todd. Nice to be here with you.
And now it's time for our tale of the tape. Caleb Sweet Hands Plant comes in at 6 foot 1 inches with a reach of 74 inches. And up against him, it's David Benavidez. He's a whopping 6 foot 2 inches tall and has a reach of 74.5 inches.
Talk about hot seats in the house. I am so lucky to be sat where I am watching this fight live. I can tell my grandkids about this.
Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, this former super middleweight champion of the world, is looking to get back on track tonight. It's the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. He's got that aggressive style, so good with the power punchers. A great finisher when he has someone hurt.
Look at this. These fights are so up for it. Look at that.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, introducing from Nashville, Tennessee, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, a super middleweight champion of the world, Sweet Hands, Caleb Plant. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Phoenix, Arizona, an all-action, exciting two-division champion of the world, known as the Mexican Monster, David Benavidez.
Not too many seats to be had in this arena as the hype continues to build for this showdown.
What a venue, what a fight, what action.
Thousands of fans here in attendance tonight, but when the bell rings, there will only be two that we're talking about. And we're off and running between these two really accomplished fighters. Let's see how they come out. The bravery being shown here is just incredible. That hook doesn't score. Good counter punch. They miss with the jab. You can really feel the buzz in the air tonight. So much hype here in this arena.
You have some fighters that are big show, big arena fighters, and they bask in this, they love this, they are born for this. You have other fighters where this would be like the rabbit in the headlights.
And he scores with the counter. A very competitive round here so far.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Throws the jab, it doesn't score. Defense is not an option for these two. You'd like to see more jabs. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Unlucky to miss with that jab. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Plant in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to you as the fighter, and the cornerman's got to put a firecracker on that fight to get out there and get the job done.
Work. Good man, good man. Just say him again.
And there's the bell to start round two. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
counter shot lands. If you're a counter puncher, so basically you do the counter attack. You let them get their punch off first, and then you answer in kind.
You're fighting a counter puncher, you've got a dummy shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
A perfect counter lands. He got out of the way of that right hook. It's knockout or bust for both of these fighters. Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
When you're fighting a counterpuncher, you want to bait them in to throw first. Make them think you're going to throw a punch so that they exchange.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter punches are the best.
He just misses with that jab. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. In that last round. On to the third. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Beautiful counter punch. Both want a highlight reel knockout. A lot of people love watching fighters in this weight class because they've got the speed and they've got the power. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Straight right just misses. Well done with that counter shot. We're at the halfway point, and both of these fighters know the round is still up for grabs.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
We wanted action, and they are giving us action. Nice counter shot. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
And this round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Planting that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that. Back at it in round 4. Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. There's a counter shot. Nice counter. Look at the hand speed and footwork between these two elite level middleweights. Perfect counter shot. You hear people talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour is a heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at a middleweight are ridiculous. That is what writes our history books.
For those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Nice counter shot. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. In that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Counter punch caught him clean. Punch, counter punch. Catch and shoot. They better start respecting each other's punching power. How about that time counter shot? The straight right just misses. And forth they go, neither fighter willing to back down.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
That uppercut doesn't land. Beautiful counter shot. In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
Look back in the history books, some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know, but I'm telling you now, you look right there, these guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. That. There's the bell to start round 6. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
He threw a punch and just got countered. Both men step back for just a moment. They exchange punches. The straight right just misses. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. You've heard the phrase, finding a second win. I don't think I need to tell you which one of these fighters needs to find it.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. don't want to trade shots. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about planting that last round. After what we...
Stay focused.
And there's the bell for round 7. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Well, Johnny, as you know, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive.
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there, they want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tell. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
What heart, what desire, but at what cost? These two are the perfect dance partners.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Just avoids a left uppercut. Good counter punching. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about planting that last round. And we enter the 8th round. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Those counter punches have to hurt. Nice counter punch. Good counter punching. Down goes Caleb Plant. And as we see it again, there's no way to get up when you get clipped with a shot like that.
A shot from the gods took him out.
Showing a lot of heart to beat the count there.
Somebody can smell blood here. They can smell blood. They've got to be smart. Get in there. Then boom, back in the same spot again. It happened once. You got away with it. You can do it again.
Final 10 seconds here, unless something major happens. I think we all know who won that one. Let's talk about planting that last round. That'll be a 10-8 round for sure with the knockdown. There's the bell to start round 9. He couldn't finish him off in the last round. Let's see what this has in store for us.
What a knockdown. 1 minute, you need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
This fight has a real good flow to it. Beautiful counter punch. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. And he scores with the counter. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
Some fighters are just gifted. Gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Swing and a miss with the hook. Nice counter shot. They won't give us a second to catch our breath. That counter shot lands. Nice slip to avoid the jab. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about David Benavidez in that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on. We've made it to round 10. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Beautiful counter shot. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout? Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Plant just got clipped. How did they not go down?
Benavidez now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Catch and shoot. Can't find a home with that jab. Not sure if I'd be taunting right now. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. He threw a punch and just got countered. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about David Benavidez that last round. How much cardio was put in for this fight? It may come down to that.
There's a lot on the line here.
Sets him up, but you'll take him out. He's ready to go.
Let's start 11. How much is left in their tank after last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
Catch and shoot. You gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Nice counter shot. Got out of the way of that right hook. Throws the jab, but it doesn't score. And he just missed with that left jab. A perfect counter shot. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Benavidez that last round. You've heard the old phrase, this might come. And there's the bell to start round 12. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
What are they doing that now? Are they trying to get an early night?
Oh my God, Johnny! Caleb Plant is hurt. How are they still standing?
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Nice counter shot. There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
Middleweight always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you're in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, I would just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable.
What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
I want to think of holding on here for a minute. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. A lot of effort being exerted here. The Mexican monster is down. A big headshot and he goes down. We have got to see that again in slow motion.
That's lights out right there. One, two, three, four.
The three judges agree, and we've got a unanimous decision.
They've done it before, now they're doing it again, and look what's happened. A unanimous decision. What a way, what tactics, what a game plan, and what a result.